You got to work with the willing. Polygyny within our family, polygyny within Team OPR works because we're all willing to do the work. And if the wives aren't willing to work, if the husband is not willing to work, then we would have to go, is this going to be successful? There's so many different angles you can look at when one is thinking about divorcing and not being in polygyny. Now, if it is just the sheer fact that you do share the same husband, but you're monogamously married to the same man, right? And you have your own individual marriages, is that simply good enough to just divorce? What does that mean? I'll give you an example. A very dear friend of mine I've had, and I've spoken about her on this channel before, and I love her very deeply, and she feels like a soul sister of mine. She said to me, she said, you know, the difference between my divorce and you might being, you know, you being hurt and all those things like that is, she said, my ex-husband tried to hurt me. She said, your husband didn't try to hurt you. And that matters. Now, this is my friend. She's grown. She said what she said and she went to bed, but she said what she said. And what she said was real. And another friend of mine, we have completely different backgrounds. We were raised differently. So many things. We're both Muslim. Now we're both reverts or converts to Islam. She said, you better make sure you have a damn good reason for divorcing him outside of polygyny, because she knew my husband. She still knows him. And she was cheering him on to a certain degree in that she said, let's be rational about it. What reasoning do you have outside of you just, I don't really like how things went down? Didn't mean things were sinful or haram. It just means the sequence of things could have been tighter. And we all admit that. Coach Nazir admits that. And I love that he was that vulnerable to do it, because it's not easy to be on here and be like, look, this is what happened and it shouldn't happen in this way. It should have happened in a better way. Not that the way was wrong. It just could have been better. And I was like, whoo, that takes a lot to say, this is what happened. But this can be done in a better way, and sharing that with others. I know for me, I'm like, woo, dang, a lesser man might not have admitted that. I'm just saying. But when my friend said that to me, I said, she's right. Better have a good reason. Better have a good reason other than my ego might be hurt. I might have hurt feelings. I might need to have my own hard conversation and decide I want to give myself permission to trust again, to have a healthy relationship, although this has happened. I get to do that. But what I also had the option to do was say, no, this is not for me. I don't want to do this. But I had to have a specific, strong reason behind it, not just because within that time, within that window of time, I felt hurt. You don't forget it, but I didn't want it to run me. I didn't want it to run me in that. I didn't want it to run me away from a man that I didn't have to divorce, from a marriage that I did not have to leave. Now, some have to leave. Some are dealing with insurmountable trials. They're dealing with abandonment, true abandonment, where their husband is gone and they have not talked to him, don't know where he went, don't know what direction. He's not checking on them. Or he's putting his hands on them. And just feeling like getting up one day and got anger issues and just starts throwing hammers and punching or slapping or anything like that. I mean, we've discussed this. This happens. So we don't act like it's not happening. It does happen. But divorcing someone is a very, very intimate decision to make. It's not, this is not working for me, and I kind of don't feel great about this, but I'm going to leave this king over here. He's trying. But yeah, forget all that. It ain't perfect. Polygyny is not going to be perfect, just like monogamy will not be perfect, because people, we're not perfect. So we're all learning, and we all have a learning curve. So to know whether to stay or whether to go, what I did specifically, I looked at who I'd been married to for all these years. I looked at what his spirituality looked like. What was his relationship with Allah? I looked at that. Had that changed? No, it actually got. And if it could, we all can work in that area. Those of us that are practicing Muslims, I said, well, you know, he's practicing more in that. I see him offering extra prayers more. I see him losing a little bit of sleep. I see him planning more. Now, he did all these things with great intensity, but he 10x'd it when he started practicing polygyny. He was in service mode more. And I was like, that can't be possible. He can't. How can he do more than what he's already doing? Oh, yeah. When you're moving with purpose, when you're practicing polygyny as a husband with purpose, and you care about the outcome, and you care about the present, you care about the past, you care about the future success of your family. Oh, yeah. You work hard. You work really hard, and you're dedicated to becoming better. And I love that he says, and becoming more. So the dedication has to be there with everyone involved in the specific marriage, in that specific family. I was like, what could we do if we just tried? What could we do if we were just purposeful and we determined to make this work? Because everybody's doing their own individual work. So is that a man worth divorcing? Is that a family worth destroying? Because right now in this space, I don't feel good. I don't feel confident. We can build upon our confidence. We can heal. We can communicate. One thing I learned is that I had so much more power than I thought I had. I wasn't wielding it like a weapon, but I said, I have the power to say, I'm going to talk to my co-wife. My children are littles in the family, I like to call them. They're not going to have this toxic environment. That's not fair to them. But I'm going to work on me while I'm helping. I'm going to work on my healing while I'm hugging my bonus babies, while I'm hugging my children. I'm going to work within it and not against it. So knowing whether to stay or whether to go has a lot to do with looking inside of you and what you're doing, what you're not doing. Are you focusing on the problem? Are you focusing on the solution? Oftentimes we must do this. We must be our own solution. And of course, we got to work with the willing. You got to work with the willing. Polygyny within our family, polygyny within Team OPR works because we're all willing to do the work. And if the wives aren't willing to work, if the husband is not willing to work, then we would have to go, is this going to be successful? Now, with that being said, I want to make sure that I invite all of you to check out our polygamy masterclass at polygamy.masterclass.com. And for those of you that are in polygyny, maybe thinking about polygyny, or you're new to polygyny, right? Make sure you pick up our polygamy roadmap at polygamyroadmap.com and follow us on our social medias. So on YouTube and Facebook, we're Outstanding Personal Relationships, and on IG, we're Outstanding Relationships. So make sure you go over there and comment, like, subscribe, share this video, because sharing is caring. You never know who's going to need some nuggets or some truth or some best practices for best results. So send them on over to our YouTube channel. And I invite everybody to watch all our videos. Don't just watch mine. Don't just watch Coach Nazir's. Don't just watch Coach Nyla's. Well, especially if you're a wife, watch both our videos, because you're going to get some really great advice, some awesome information. I watch our videos. She watches our videos, my co-wife, Coach Nyla. And we want to make sure we do that because we're learning and we're listening to each other's experiences. And sometimes when you do that, you can go, okay, this is the human quality. You know, what maybe I can relate to this and find some common ground and to be cordial so that this can ultimately work. Is it going to happen overnight? No. And be sure, guys, that you do not compare your day one or your year one to our year 13. Please don't do that because it's just not fair to you. And we had to all learn and grow. So yes. And if you're interested in coaching and counseling, you can check me out at CoachFatimah.com or CoachNyla.com for details on her coaching and counseling. Check us out for details. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with a little GLC, but before I do, I hope you guys got some nuggets from this video. Remember, deciding whether you're going to quit polygyny or give it up and say this is not for me, be sure you exhaust your efforts. Have those hard conversations that don't have to be hostile. Weigh it out in a way that you're not creating some type of bias. You know, let's listen as much as we want to ask and find out different details. Listen to a different side that's not just your own. It definitely helped me. So with that being said, make sure you guys are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I'm Coach Fatimah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sound like peace. He's my husband.
He's my husband.
He was my husband first.
Well, he's mine now.
He's both our husbands.
He is, you're right. Okay, so I know you guys think that this is what polygyny is supposed to look like between co-wives. And we're here to let you know that that's not what it is.
What it is. And that's not how it works.
We're going to go and talk to these women about what it's really supposed to be.
Okay, guys.
So I'm Coach Nyla.
And I'm Coach Fatimah.
And we are co-wives, and we're married to that man, Coach Nazir, that just left out of here.
Yes.
So, yes. And the way you've seen it, usually that's what people think polygyny is and how co-wives should behave and react when they're married to the same man.
But is that the best way? Is that the most effective way? No, not if you want long-term success in polygyny.
And we created a wonderful roadmap to help you through polygamy with different requisites as well as
vulnerability, value. We discuss value, placing value on your marriage, how to be vulnerable within your marriage, because it's actually a superpower. We speak about that in our polygamy roadmap. We also discuss vision. What is your long-term vision, again, for success in polygyny? And ultimately, victory.
Victory. How to win as a family.
Yes.
How to win with your co-wife.
Yes.
How to win overall in your marriage in polygamy. So yes, make sure you get the polygamy roadmap today at polygamy.roadmap.com. Because you don't want your relationship, your marriage, your family to look like the beginning of this video.
Right. Because that's not the best practices for best results, guys.
So make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Click the link, get the roadmap. We'll see you then. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.